welcome back to my channel and thank you for watching these videos. I really do enjoy making them and I hope you find them to be inspiring. This is, I believe, number 8 in the My Pilot Journey series. Today's story is how I ended up in the United States. One of the questions I'm frequently asked when I tell people my life story is how did I get from a cruise ship to the US? In about 9 months into my first contract, I was assigned to work in the Sound of Music lounge in the front bar. While there, my coworker came to me and he said he was expecting a young woman to visit him if I can come and get him when she showed up. I said, sure. As I proceeded with my task for that evening, these two older women showed up, probably in their 50s or 60s. And obviously, as a bartender, I engaged in conversation with them. As I'm doing that, this young Asian woman showed up and she requested an audience with my co-worker. Naturally, I went, I got him. Both of them chatted for a while. He looked at me and asked if I can take care of her while he is working in the back bar. I said, sure. Naturally, she joined the conversation I was already having with the two older women. And somewhere along the line, the conversation switched into talking about relationships. Specifically, the focus was on me because I was 25, I think, single. And one of the women asked, what is it about women that you find attractive? And I said to her, I specifically remember this because this is who I am. I said to her, I don't have a pickup line, that's not who I am. What I would rather do is look at the young lady in the moment and tell her what I see. And so one of the women looked over at the young lady who just showed up and said, what about her? What do you think about her? You know, I looked at her, and the closer I looked, the more I spoke, I realized that she was attractive and I begun to see her in a different light. And my friend came out, the night ended, we went our separate ways. The following night, she showed up and we started talking. We spoke more. And by the third night, while she was there, she was only ordering water. And I thought, this woman is costing me money. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to meet someone. I'm not here to fall in love. I just want to make money so I can get to England and start my pilot training. So I told her that she was costing me money because she isn't buying anything. She left. And I thought I was in trouble because that was rude of me. And she was going to go tell bar the bar manager, which would have been awful. So what I did the following night, I went and I bought a dozen roses, and I couldn't find her at first. I kept searching the entire ship. And when I finally found her, I presented her with the roses and a verbal apology for my rudeness. Because at this point, I'm thinking I need to save my job. And from that encounter, we kept talking and talking and talking. And I would like to think that at some point we both agreed that there was a potential relationship here. And the last night of the cruise, she left. We exchanged phone phone numbers. But I was still hesitant about the whole long distance relationship thing. I didn't know it was if it was going to work, to be honest. But the following cruise, I was assigned to the same bar in the same lounge, and I met these two older gentlemen. One of them name was well, I his name was Vance, so I called him Mister Vance because he was in his 60s. And I explained to them, I said, hey, I met this young woman on the previous cruise. I thought she was cool. I'm attracted to her, but I don't see it going anywhere because of the long distance relationship thing. I don't think it's going to work. And Mr. Vance said to me, look, you're not going to know unless you try. If you try and it works, great. If you try and it doesn't work, you would have known that you have tried. I said, okay. So, following his advice, I called her. We chatted on the phone. And at the end of my contract, I got a 10-year visa and I went to visit her in Pennsylvania, specifically Lancaster. It's a small town in Philadelphia. And our relationship grew and grew. And I realized that I'm in love with this young woman and I would like to get more serious. I left Philadelphia and I went to Trinidad. Then I caught another ship in Vancouver, Canada. This ship went between Canada and Alaska. I invited her on this cruise with me while I was working. The cool thing about this was, as a crew member, you are able to invite a family member or a friend on a cruise for half the price. So I did that. And while we were on the cruise, we started talking more, and I realized that I'm really interested in her now. So when we arrived in Ketchikan, Alaska, I went and I picked up an engagement ring. By this time, I think we've been talking consistently for about 10 months or so. And I put the engagement ring in a wine glass and I put some, no, in a champagne glass, and I put some champagne in the glass and I took it to her table. And no, did I put it in? No, no, no. I actually put it in some flowers and I gave her the flowers and she didn't see the ring. So it took one of her another woman who was sitting at the same table with her that and said that told her you need to look at the flowers, and she goes what is, and the lady said to her you need to look at the flowers. So she looked in it and she saw the ring, did the whole marriage proposal thing, and I finished the contract, which that particular contract was 6 months. After that, I moved to the US. We got married. We did the whole immigration paperwork stuff. I got my green card. That, however, was not my first time in the US. My first time was a very scary experience. We took the ship from Puerto Rico to Mobile, Alabama for dry dock. We were scheduled to be there for 2 weeks. On one of my days off, I decided to go walking to explore Mobile, see what it's like. And I confess, at the time, while I was aware of slavery, I was unaware of the role the South played in slavery. On my walk, I realized that I'm lost and I start looking around. I noticed where I got lost looked like it got stuck in the year 1800s during the slavery time. I was surrounded by these big white slave masters' houses with these expansive land. It looked like they were still in the slavery days there. And given my extensive understanding about slavery, I got afraid. I got scared. I didn't walk. I briskly hustled to find my way back to the ship. Once I got back, I never ventured too far from the ship after that experience. I was so afraid as a 24 or a 25-year old. That experience really drove home for me the role the South played in perpetuating the cruelty of slavery. And to this day, I believe if you go to Mobile, Alabama, that area is still there. It still looked like it's the 1800s, which to me is awful. As always, I thank you for watching these videos. If you have any questions or comments, leave it below and I will respond to them personally. And the Google algorithm have told me that most of you who watch these videos are not subscribers. So I ask you to like, subscribe, and share these videos with your friends and family so we can get this content out to more people and hopefully inspire them. All right, guys, I think that's it for this one. Until next time, be good.